Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 10 sinking cities on the verge of disaster, and it's a world according to Briggs video. I don't really react to his channel when it's to do with other countries or other cities. It's usually like mainly focused on the US, so this is a bit different, but we're going to just check this out and see. I mean, I know some cities, like you've got, I'm going to assume a lot of cities in Asia. I know like countries like Bangladesh flood loads, so there's probably going to be a city or two mentioned there. You're going to have Venice, which I think everyone knows about Venice, and then coastal cities, right? So yeah, we're just going to see, really. I don't really know what cities to expect. I mean, that's pretty much it. We're going to check this out. Hopefully going to enjoy, hopefully find this interesting, hopefully learn a little bit from this video, and yeah, let's check this out.
Today we're looking at cities that are sinking, and here's a little heads up. Not all of them are sinking because of climate change. Nothing is forever. Rome, the dinosaurs, Miami Vice, and World War II all came to an end. And if you look at what's going on around the globe, some of our greatest cities may make it onto that list within the next 100 years. If you think about this planet's largest cities and how most of them came about, I'm really surprised we haven't lost a bunch already. Mother Nature has a way of erasing whatever we built. Our cities haven't really been planned. Most of them started out hundreds of years ago when a small group of people set up a hut near some water so they could live their life, fish, live, drink water, and enjoy the mosquitoes. One thing leads to 500 years later, and you have Miami. Rivers, lakes, and oceans have always been a part of human settlements, and water normally does what water wants to do. Floods, tsunamis, torrential rain, these things happen on a daily basis. And that's why I say I'm surprised we haven't lost a handful of cities already. Now, it's not just the floods and the tsunamis. In some places, we've pulled so many things out of the ground around the cities that the land beneath the cities have started to sink. In today's video, we're looking at the cities around the globe that are sinking. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look.
Oh damn, look at that. Venice, everyone knows about Venice.
Number 10, Venice, Italy. This one shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that has ever seen a picture of Venice. It's a man-made island.
I've been to Venice and it's insane. It's a lot to take, and I'm not gonna lie. It's like, luckily we didn't stay in Venice. We stayed on an island nearby, so we could sort of get away from it for a little bit. It's really nice here. It's just a lot. I'm gonna be honest. It's so damn busy as well. Honestly, so busy.
In a lagoon. Venice is a city that's celebrated for its picturesque canals that are in this lagoon and its rich history. Right now, it's grappling with concerning environmental issues. It's gradually sinking. The phenomenon is a result of two factors: the natural subsidence of the ground beneath the city and the rising sea levels caused by climate change. Now, is this equaling Venice is dropping like 6-7 inches a year? No, absolutely not. It's like 1 or 2 millimeters. But over time, that adds up. The big worry is, will that pick up steam? Will it start going faster? Will it end up being 7-8 inches a year? As the water rises, Venice faces a higher risk of frequent and severe flooding. This combination of sinking land and rising seas is a growing concern for the city's preservation and the safety of its inhabitants. So Venice is filled with a whole bunch of smart people, and they decided to take significant measures to combat this issue. These measures include constructing a series of flood control walls around the Venice Lagoon. These barriers are designed to defend against high tides and reduce the risk of flooding. There still remains a degree of uncertainty regarding the exact extent of Venice's sinking and how far it'll go by 2050. That seems to be the magic number for any of these environmental issues. 2050 seems to be what they're stuck on. So book a cruise to Venice now, go see the canals, because I don't know, by the time you retire, if you're not already there, it might be a different city.
Damn. Mexico
Number 9,
City.
Mexico City.
I know it's very, like, it's below seawater, right? Or sea level. But it's also not on the coast, so I don't know. Like, surely it's just because it's. I don't know. I don't think it's near a coast anyway. I mean, I thought it's in the center of Mexico. So maybe there's rivers and stuff. I don't really know how it really faces flooding. Maybe when it rains and stuff, it's obviously scary then. But we're gonna see.
Mexico City, the bustling capital of Mexico, presents a unique and concerning geological situation. Originally, it was constructed on the site of an ancient lake. This was a good thing for a few different reasons. One, it was flat and they didn't have to move a lot of land as the city expanded. They also had water right underneath their feet, and they pumped it out for decades and decades and decades, hundreds of years. The problem with pumping all that water out of there is it leaves an open space underneath the ground, so it starts to sink to fill that space where the water once was. I had a teacher explain it years ago. I was in high school, so it's like 30 years ago. And he basically he had a balloon, and he put a baseball on top of it, and it was in this little box. And he'd let a little air out and it would sink. And he's all, this is all that's happening. And he was talking about Mexico City during his little presentation. That's exactly what's happening in Mexico City on a grander scale. Now, it isn't uniformly just sinking. There's parts that are barely sinking in Mexico City, and then there's parts that are drastically sinking. They have certain areas that are dropping 9 inches a year. Now, their 2050 prediction is certain parts of the city will have to be demolished and either rebuilt or just left vacant. Mexico City's problem just can't be solved with some floodgates. They've got a lot of other issues they got to deal with. I mean, from environmental, urban planning, and geological. We'll see how it works out.
That is so wild. So they basically just drunk all the water below them and now it's just sinking. God damn. Bangkok.
Number 8, Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok is the capital of Thailand, and it's experiencing a critical environmental issue. It is gradually sinking, like everyone else on this list. The alarming situation arises from 2 main causes. Like Mexico City, they've been pumping too much water out.
Hey, yo, what is this building, though? God damn.
The ground, and it's starting to show. Like Mexico City, some places are sinking far faster than other parts, but there's a reason for this. As the groundwater is removed, the soil above becomes compact and it settles, leading to a gradual sinking of the land surface in one area while other areas dropping faster. I could explain the whole thing to you, but I'd need about a month and an easel. Now, the other problem they're seeing here is the immense weight of the city's numerous large buildings. This adds on to their problem. These structures are putting an incredible amount of pressure on the land, contributing to the sinking phenomenon. In recent years, it's only been shrinking about 5 to 7 millimeters a year, but they are starting to see it pick up steam, and they think within the next decade, it'll be dropping closer to 10 to 30 millimeters annually. They're trying to find new ways to compact the soil underneath the buildings before it gets too bad. That's something they've been studying and trying to work on, but they're also building seawalls. As ocean levels rise, they want to be prepared for that by the magic number of 2050.
This isn't a surprise.
Number 7, New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans has always been underwater. I mean, it's below sea level. They've got a whole bunch of levees.
It's below sea level and it's next to the coast, so it's a bit of a just a recipe for disaster, pretty much.
And pump stations to keep the water out of New Orleans. According to some forecasts, there's a possibility that certain areas of New Orleans might experience a decline in elevation, potentially sinking as much as 2 feet or 60 centimeters by the year 2050. This situation raises significant concerns about the city's future stability and the safety of the residents. I mean, we saw what happened to New Orleans when the levees broke during Hurricane Katrina, and that was horrible.
Kind of scary that they're so reliant on that specific thing, and if it's not going to work, then they're screwed. Shanghai.
Number 6, Shanghai, China. Shanghai is a bustling metropolis in China, and the city's facing significant issues. This is another place that's been sucking too much out of the ground, and the city's kind of fallen into the hole that they've created. Is crucial for maintaining the ground stability. When too much is removed, the ground becomes less stable and starts to sink. Shanghai also has the problem that they've got these giant buildings that are making the situation worse. I mean, it's already going down because they've sucked all the water, and they're just adding more pressure onto that and just pressing the city and the land down. Right now, they're working on reducing the amount of groundwater they take. This so far has shown positive results. They've been doing it about 6 years now. The problem's not solved by any stretch of the imagination, but this is helping. Shanghai continues to experience a drop in elevation, with some parts sinking as much as 1.5 centimeters, about 1.5 inches each year.
Damn. Houston.
Number 5, Houston, Texas. Houston has a truckload of problems already. This is just like a cherry on top of the suckage pie. This is another city that's taken too much out of the ground beneath the city. And this time it's not just water. They've been taking everything out from underneath Houston. Water, oil, gas. In certain parts of Houston, they already see the land shrink by 2 inches every single year. If the trend continues and doesn't slow down for some reason, they're going to face serious challenges for the city by 2050.
Manila?
Number 4,
Where the hell is Manila? That sounds Spanish. Like a Spanish-speaking country. I actually don't know where it is.
Manila, the Philippines. Manila, the
Philippines. Okay.
capital city of the Philippines, is also experiencing
It's the capital city. How did I know where Manila is? Oh, God.
a little shrinkage. This issue has to do with where they've been getting their groundwater. They've been pulling it out right from below the city, and it's starting to show in a big way. On top of that, they're worried about climate change and a rise in sea levels. All those things come into play when you're talking about the Philippines, and more specifically, Manila. Manila sinks about 10 centimeters every single year.
10 centimeters? Oh, Manila, man. That is crazy. Miami.
Number 3, Miami, Florida. Miami is grappling with 2 significant environmental challenges: the gradual sinking of its land and the relentless rise of sea levels. Now, there's less detailed information available about the rate in which Miami's land is sinking. The threat posed by rising sea levels is increasingly alarming and has major implications for the city's future. They're making plans for more seawalls and pumping stations. Now, the pumping stations I read in one article, but I couldn't find any other information about it. I was really hoping for more details on it. The one that New Orleans has, or the few that New Orleans has, are amazing. They're huge. So we're not really sure
I love how green it is here, man. It's so damn green. It's so beautiful.
how fast it's sinking or what parts are sinking the most or the fastest. One thing we do know is the state of Florida and the federal government are putting a lot of effort into fixing the potential problems that Miami may face in the future.
Beijing.
Number 2, Beijing, China. Beijing is the capital city of China, and it's facing a bunch of problems, including sinking to the center of the earth. The primary reason for this sinking is the excessive withdrawal of groundwater. They've got a lot of people there, and they've been pulling a lot of groundwater out for many, many years. Now, this really isn't a new thing for Beijing. They've known about it since about the 1970s. But it wasn't until the late 90s that they actually started putting some effort into fixing the situation. The first thing they did was put a bunch of restrictions on how much water they could pull out of the earth around Beijing. In some areas of Beijing, the rate of sinking has been alarmingly high, reaching up to 11.5 centimeters, or about 4.5 inches, per year.
Jeez.
All right, before we get to
Oh. He's promoting his other channel. Okay, number 1. What is number 1 going to be? Did I mention one at the start? I can't remember. Tokyo?
And number 1, Tokyo, Japan.
Damn.
Tokyo is the bustling capital city of Japan. This is another city that pulled too much water out of the ground along with other things. Combine that with future rising sea levels, and Tokyo has some serious problems. Now, here's the good news. They've gotten better, and they've slowed down how fast they're sinking. Tokyo has made remarkable progress in addressing this issue. The key to this success has been the implementation of strict regulations regarding the extraction of groundwater. These policies have been designed to control and limit the amount of water that is drawn from beneath the city.
I mean, when you have 40 million people in the city, it's going to happen, I guess. You're going to need the water, so I'll see how long this lasts. But, I mean, it's good that they stopped it for now, but there's a lot of people here, so I feel like it's still going to have problems in the future.
Thanks to these measures, the rate at which Tokyo is sinking has been dramatically reduced. Today, the city is sinking at a much slower pace, about 2 millimeters a year. It used to be about 4 centimeters a year. Tokyo's always been big on seawalls. I mean, they never know when Godzilla is going to show up, so there's always been prepared for Godzilla and tsunamis.
Well, there we go. There we go. Some of these cities could be gone in the space of a few years. Houston will also be facing increased flooding over the next 30 years as ocean levels rise. The sinking part doesn't help. Jeez. Surprisingly, Michigan, a state surrounded by water, is fortunately safe and high enough that they do not have to worry much. To add, unlike Florida and California, many of Michigan's cities located on the waterfront were designed to be far enough from the coastline in order to not be impacted. Pretty smart. They factored in beach corrosion, tidal waves. I think you mean tidal waves, sand dunes, and shifting. Damn. Well, there we go. That's some good planning that a lot of these cities don't have. But yeah, hope you found this interesting. Let me know your thoughts, and until next time, peace.